Hello, my name is Callie Jo,
And I'm Elise.
and we are with the University Counseling Center, and we are going to go over burnout today.
Yes.
So do you kind of like want to talk about your own experiences with burnout, maybe like when you've encountered that?
Yeah, so I've noticed that I've encountered burnout the most when I'm not being fully present in what I'm doing. So I just kind of go through the motions. I do homework and I don't really think about what I'm doing. And also when I just don't let myself kind of be where I am, like when I'm with friends, but I'm thinking about other things.
Yes.
Like I notice like I kind of regret those times. Like, oh wait, I was with my friends and like I wasn't laughing. I wasn't thinking about what they were saying. And then at the end, I just feel kind of drained. Like I just didn't allow myself to enjoy that moment.
Yeah, you're like not in the moment, and instead you're stressed.
Yeah.
And yeah, I know what that's like. But just happened to me when I was like at like a concert the other day, when it's like I don't want to leave that concert and realize I only thought about school the whole time.
Yeah, and it's like you didn't enjoy and you just feel tired the whole time. So how about you, Callie?
That's frustrating. I mean, I definitely experience burnout when I feel like I'm putting too much pressure on myself to like do everything perfectly. Like I went to a high school that was very like get A's in your AP classes and like be the best at sports and like still have time to hang out with friends. And so when I felt like I needed to do all of that well, I would just get like really physically exhausted, and I wasn't able to like actually put energy into what I wanted to do.
Yeah,
that's a
lot of pressure.
Yeah, and then like doing sports like felt like a chore, and like during school I just was going through the motions, and everything just becomes so much less enjoyable when when we like experience burnout and stuff.
Yeah, I also noticed too like that can lead me to compare myself, like when I put such a high standard there. Sometimes I misinterpret teachers as putting a high standard, then I compare, and then that just, it takes away the joy from things. So.
Oh, yeah, for sure. How do you, like, feel symptoms of burnout? Maybe, like, physically or, like, mentally?
Definitely mentally, I just feel very stuck. Like, I feel like I can't get out of it once I'm in it. And I think it's because, like, kind of what I was saying earlier, like, I think about how I didn't enjoy that time with my friends, or I didn't enjoy certain assignments that I actually could have. Like, I feel super stuck, and then I think, well, I get really dramatic. I'm like, how can I enjoy anything ever again? And stuff like that. And I also definitely feel like because of that, I don't want to do the next task. And then I feel like I can't do the next task because I'm tired. So definitely just this feeling of being stuck that I can't like fully get out of. Yeah.
No, I relate to that so much. Like it's like when I feel burned out, it's almost like I feel like paralyzed and frozen, and I feel like I can't go forward, I can't go backward. Everything just feels so like exhausting to do, which like shouldn't be how we live our lives. But like I think we've all experienced that.
Definitely.
At like some time. I think like when I'm burned out, I know it because it's like just getting up and doing one class is just like so tiring. Versus, when I'm not putting as much pressure on myself, I can actually like go through the day and be like, it's okay.
Definitely.
But what like things have you used in the past that have like maybe like helped you cope with burnout, or maybe not helped you cope with burnout?
Yeah, that's a great question. For me, I definitely noticed that what helps me is listing out the things that I really love. So I will like physically write down a list, like I love this person, I love my friends, I love this teacher, I love being outside, I love I love psychology as a psych major. And those things, like just to say them to myself and to think them and to write them, like it makes me realize like how fun life is. And it just instantly pulls me out of that. And that's something I discovered just this year. Like I hadn't really known how to get myself out of feeling stuck like that, and I noticed like this one instantly just helps me.
Oh yeah. Totally. No, that's like a super good insight, because I think I actually do kind of a similar thing where I try and kind of like ground myself, I guess, and kind of realize what is real. I think a lot of times with burnout, we're thinking we have to be the best, but we feel like we're doing the worst. And so I try to remind myself, like, you know, the best possible scenario, the worst possible scenario, and then like what's actually happening. So like if I'm feeling really burnt out in a class, I'll think, you know, the worst scenario is I get a bad grade, I drop out of college, it's all over. The best case scenario is I don't study and I get the best grade ever. But what's actually real is I just have to do my best, and I'll get what I get, and that's okay.
Yeah, that's so true. I definitely think burnout makes us catastrophize things.
Yes.
And put so much blame on ourselves. So I think that's really super practical and just a good reminder, like, think about what's actually happening.
Does like writing too many things down on like a list, does like that overwhelm you? Does that like make you feel burnt out?
It actually doesn't. Like, I know everyone's different. Like, some people when they're relaxing, they just want to do nothing. For me, like, relaxing, like, I find writing helps. Not a ton, definitely depends what, but for that, like, I just do little bullet points. So it's so quick, and just to like write down random points, and it's just me and the page, like, you know, there's no pressure to like state something really nice or like say something really cool. It's just like pointing the obvious, you know, like, I really love the soup I just ate. Like, you know, I love the color I'm looking at. Like, it's just like the smallest little thing. So for me, it doesn't, but I definitely know, you know, everyone's different. Not everyone wants to write in their break, but yeah, definitely helps.
No, that sounds like a super good like coping strategy that I feel like I'd want to use at some point. I mean, I think what comes to mind that helps me a lot is, I think, just like setting boundaries so I don't get burnt out in the first place. You know, like, prevention is like the best thing you can do.
Definitely.
So like that means like saying no if I know that I have things I need to do. And then also just letting my rest time be my rest time. I think I'm a bit different from you in that way of like when I'm resting, I just kind of want to like fully like disconnect. And then like slowly go back and kind of realize what I need to do.
Yeah, I think that's so important too, because sometimes when I'm burnt out, it's almost like it has the opposite effect where I feel like I need to, if I have a time, do stuff so I don't get burnt out, but then it's just counterintuitive. And so there was one week where I got sick, I think because of stress, and I found like when I was sleeping, I needed to just let myself enjoy that sleep, and that was what seriously got me out there physically. Like, I got better, I didn't feel as drained, and I think it's so important to have like intentional rest time where you're like, I'm not gonna think about this assignment, or I'm not gonna feel like I need to go please people and go see everyone, you know. It's just like,
I totally agree
just
with
sleep,
that.
just watch your episode, you know.
100%. I totally agree with that. But thank you for talking to me about this. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
I hope this was helpful for people watching.
Cool. Thank you, Callie Jo.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, we'll see you guys.
I begin to feel tired, I would say, like physically exhausted and just in the need of a nap.
Yes, I always feel super tired and have a headache, and I just like lack motivation to do anything and just want to just lie down on my couch all day long, and yeah, I just want to be isolated and not do anything. I think when I am stressed, I do start to see physical differences because I actually am one to get sick when I am stressed. So last year when I first started the nursing program, I got sick 5 or 6 times throughout the year, and that is probably one of the biggest differences that I see when I am stressed. So I try to get a good 6 or 7 hours of sleep per night, and then I'm a big nap person, so when I feel like I have the chance to not do work at that moment, I let myself take a half an hour to an hour just resting or sleeping or just kind of sitting in silence, not doing anything.
As a music composition major, it's a little bit difficult to find times to rest because you're pushing 17, 18 units. So finding rest throughout your day and you just resting while talking to friends, or finding ways to be yourself throughout the day. Or alone time as well. It's really a key factor in rest.
I'm getting more proud of my work, just noticing little things getting better. And as how I spend my time, I think everybody wants to manage their time just a little bit better, you know what I mean? But overall, I'd say I'm doing really well.
Yeah, for the most part, especially if it's something like I'm working something on school that I'm passionate about. I try to just put my best work in my academics or just anything I do. So for the most part, I would say that I'm proud of it, and I think I spent my time well on it.